Hello.
Hello, we are live.
We are live. Welcome to Awkward Aquarians Review,
Review.
where today we will be talking about the Netflix show Sandman.
Oh, so good. So good.
So good. So good. So review is going to be full of spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, too
Spoiler
bad.
alert.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. So kind of a quick synopsis is
Mhm.
you have these immortals embodied by these beings, and basically the immortal dream gets captured, right?
Yes.
By a human by accident. He's trying to capture death
Mhm.
to bring his son back to life. And
Yeah.
instead, he gets Dream, aka the Sandman. And so it just takes off from there. Each little episode is almost like a mini movie. It's like a vignette.
Yeah, it really is. Like I was thinking
Mhm.
about, yeah, it's like you could watch one episode and be like satisfied for the day. You're like, oh, that was so good.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
really juicy, really rich, really amazing world building.
Mhm.
And, the visual effects are really good. I mean, there's
Yeah.
dragons, there's decaying
I
universes, there's
I think it
villains
helps that
with
it's
teeth for
like
eyes, which is terrifying.
the fact that it's based off of a graphic novel I think is helpful because you already have that world in front of
Yeah.
you, so you kind of have a storyboard to jump off of, like, oh, we know we need to create these amazing the dream world in both of its glory state and its decaying state. And which is my
Yeah.
favorite part. I loved the dream world. That was my favorite part. I loved it so
Oh,
much.
me too. I kept wanting them to go back there.
Me too.
And then the character actually turns into scenery, which I thought was
Hmm.
a beautiful moment. Like,
It was.
yeah. And then they just have all of the character relationships are so interwoven, and one minute you're rooting for someone and the next minute you're hoping they go down. He even goes into hell and talks with Lucifer, which
Lucifer. Yeah.
is the character in Game of Thrones, the honorable
Yeah,
knight.
yeah, I've got Brienne, like Brienne of Tarth or Tarth.
Hmm.
I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I think she played Lucifer really well too. Like,
She did. She brought so much dignity and grace to the
mhm.
role.
And
And you
still
could,
kind of intimidating. Like you saw the
yeah,
wheels turning.
this lingering sense of ultimate power. Just,
Yeah, you're like, I would
yeah.
not
And the
want to
fact
be
that
in a
he
room
like
with her.
traversed through hell, and then they do this little gumdrop of like a person he's stuck there that he says he's still in love with but won't forgive her. And you're like,
Yeah,
damn,
yeah. His like
damn.
ex love is there,
Wasn't it
and
like 10,000 years or something?
yeah, I mean, since she was one of the first humans, I was think like it's been a while. And then his one crow guide or raven guide asked like, why is she here? And he's like, she disobeyed or something.
Yeah,
I was like,
something really
oh wow.
aloof and like
Yeah. I was like, there's more to that story, but I
a
guess we'll have to
dangerous
wait to get it.
boyfriend to have.
Yeah, as
Definitely
you
a
know,
dangerous boyfriend
as
to have.
attractive as I found him, which is weird because not really my type,
Not my type
but
either. He's all scrawny and,
yeah, very like
he's all
goth.
bones, but yeah, very goth.
Yeah.
But he was sexy. Yeah, I'm
It
not
was,
afraid
well,
to
he
say
could,
it.
powerful and could control dreams, so I think that had something to do with the appeal.
It might. It might
Yes.
have had something
But
to do
then
with
you
it.
look at, he sentenced his ex-girlfriend to hell for thousands of years, so maybe not the kind of guy you wanna hook up with.
Yeah, and he still loves her. It's like, oh
Yeah,
wow.
I know.
So you got
Obviously,
to
there's more to
someone you
that
love?
story. And I've
Definitely
never read
not
the graphic
boyfriend
novel,
material.
so I don't know what's behind that. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, but it gives you a taste, and that's
Mhm.
what the show is really good at, is having all these little tastes. It was like a
Yeah.
sampling platter.
And what I also liked about not just like meeting his, ex in hell and him like sentencing that one nightmare who wanted to be a dream, he basically like unmade her because she had not followed the rules. And so I love that
Because
it
she
gives
had
this sense.
evolved
Yeah.
to be more emotionally complex and to not want to be a nightmare.
She
And
wanted to
now
be a dream.
because I was so rooting for him, and then when he did that, it was like, he went through a
I
jerk
kind of,
phase, but then he
yeah. Well,
comes back around.
I like it
So
because it showed that I mean, he's old. He's like what, old. And to have like
mhm.
he's both sort of like he has moments where he can be, you know, a tiny bit magnanimous, like it good, but he has also moments where he's terrifying.
Yeah.
And I like that because I think that's what an immortal being should be, not all good, not all bad, just like every spectrum of the human emotion.
Yeah, he definitely came off as complex, which is,
Hmm.
it's what you want your immortals to come off as.
Yeah, I
You
loved
really
it.
want
I was
them to be
like,
stick figures.
no, I was so into it. I was like, I love his characterization. I love the way the actor played it. Um, I can't really imagine anyone else's dream now besides him because he did such a good job.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Mm.
couldn't imagine anybody else.
No, he stole
Yeah,
that role. And I
he
loved
did.
all the other like side character. Well, I mean they're side characters, but they do have big parts. So technically they're not like side characters, but I really
Mhm.
liked all of them. Like I don't think there was a character I disliked. Even the creepy night near serial killer guy like kept me entertained. So
Yeah, he was very charismatic for somebody who was just, like, evil incarnate.
I know, and he did evil so well. Like I'm like, oh, like you creep me out. I kind of want you to die, but I kind of don't because you're really charismatic and you're selling me on this evil. And then when he took off his glasses and he had the teeth for
Oh
eyes, I
my
was
gosh, I was
like,
like, "Put your
oh,
glasses on, put your
I
glasses
know.
on."
I was like, don't do it, don't do it. I do question like Dream keeping his little skull though to like
I
make a
know, I
better
was like,
version in the future. I
like,
was
he's a fish you gotta throw back, like, you don't keep that fish.
No, I'm like,
Like,
smash that skull. This is not
yeah,
something we
smash
need to
that
like
skull, that
tinker
guy was
with.
crazy, and
Yeah.
he tried to destroy you, he's like, "Oh, little dream." I'm like, "Little dream?"
We know as writers, sometimes you have to kill your darlings, and that is a darling that should
Yes.
be killed, gone
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
But
I
he
was
was
like, "You
great.
gotta kill your darling there, because
I know, he was great.
that
And I
darling tried to
love
kill you." So,
yeah, your darling once it tries to kill you, you best kill it. Like it's not
yeah,
like,
you best
oh,
put it down, because then it's no longer
yeah,
your darling, then it's a, psycho
maybe in the
murderer that
future
you
I
brought to
can
life.
create one that's less homicidal and listens to me more. Like, well, it's not something we
Mhm.
have to play at here.
Yeah, let's just start over,
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's write a new book. Let's write a new
Yeah.
chapter.
Hmm. But yeah, I loved him. I loved all of Dream's brothers and sisters, like all the other immortals. I thought
Oh,
they were
Desire.
really
How cool was Desire? Like, I
Desire was
couldn't yeah,
awesome.
I couldn't tell the gender of Desire, and I didn't care. I just
Yeah, I think
loved the way that the actor played that character. I was just like,
mhm.
"Wow."
Yeah,
And
me
I liked
too.
that it was kind of like, mm, I don't know, like, I liked what they did with it. I
Yeah,
really
and I
felt
think
like
they were
that they
supposed to
were
be really
Desire.
like yeah, I do think they were supposed to be kind of, like agendered, like that way they like can appeal to everyone and just sort of use this allure to just it feels like they want to like pull you in so you make some sort of like mistake. Like made a mistake. Like I don't trust your desire. Like, but I thought they did a great job with Desire, and I loved Dream and Desire's just animosity towards each other. I
Yeah,
loved it
and that
so
and I like that I don't know where that's coming from, but it's like a
mhm.
reveal that I'm excited to happen, like, I'm excited to
Yeah,
see
like
what
I feel they
happens
gave
with
us
that.
breadcrumbs, but they didn't give us enough. Like I want the bread. I want to know why they dislike each other so much. So I really hope we get that. If we don't get that, I'll be disappointed. If we're just given like, oh, Desire just, is jealous of Dream because he's got this big awesome kingdom, I'll be super disappointed. So
Yeah, because I feel like that there's a rich history there that needs
Yeah.
to be explained.
Yeah. And again, I think it shows like how these immortals who have lived forever really don't care that much about humans, because Desire was willing to sacrifice her granddaughter because to just get back a Dream, to
Just
just
get
get
back a
Dream.
Dream. I'm like, that's your kid. That's like
Yeah.
Hercules and Zeus, you know?
I know. Basically willing to sacrifice their daughter at first, and then when that didn't work, oh, their granddaughter. Like, what the? Like, okay, I see where you're coming from, and it's I see you now. I see you.
I see you. I see you, Zaya.
And I really liked Death too. I like how the actress
Oh,
portrayed
you know,
Death.
and that was another little vignette. He does this walkabout with Death,
Yeah, that was
and
one whole
it's just
episode.
beautiful.
Yeah, just sort of, and to know that she's been doing this for as long as she's been alive, just like,
And she's not nearly as jaded as he is.
no, no, she's not. She's very
Yeah,
sort
it's
of
kind of put
warm and
perspective
open.
on things. Like, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
And
I
how
know
much
you
did
feel
you
bad for
love that guy that he made a bet with Death that they were going to eventually beg for
Oh,
Death
yeah.
because
Hobgoblin,
the
whatever.
immortality was such suffering.
And that was one episode too. Just one episode of
Yeah,
basically
just
his
one
and
episode about
Hobgoblin.
this relationship with this guy and Dream, and you're
Yeah.
just, I mean, I was so in it. And then I love what endeared me to that character was he lost everything. He was a vagrant. He had
Yeah.
nothing to his name. He was miserable. And then he meets up with Dream, and Dream is like, "So now do you wish to die? Like to beg for death?" And he's like, "Are you crazy?"
Yeah,
Of
he's like,
course
no.
not. Of course
I
not. I have so
know.
much to live for. And you're like, what? Because you're so convinced he's going to say, of course I want to die. But nope.
Nope,
He
he doesn't.
still
He's
wants to
so into like life, and so
live.
just, I mean, it was great watching their dynamic, and I was like as confused as him as Dream was too. I'm like, listen, if all my loved ones had died, I'd be like, I think it's time for me to move on. Like, I don't need
Yeah, me too. I probably would have been done. I'd be like, nah, you know, the past, because he's like the past 50 years or something has sucked, basically. And he's like,
I would have been the wrong person to make the bet with.
yeah, they did. They did, because he was in
Especially
love
if you
with
know, like,
life.
if you know things like that exist, like you can live forever, then you just kind of like also know that, oh, well, if that means probably heaven and hell exist. So yeah, take me to heaven. Like, I'm ready.
Yeah, take me to heaven. I'm ready.
Yeah, so that was another great episode. Honestly, one of my favorite episodes though was actually the one with Constantine.
Oh.
Although they called her Constantine in the show, which bugged the crap out of me because I'm like, that is Constantine.
Constantine.
I like will scream Constantine to the sky. Like, that is how I say it. So I really like that episode because I've always loved the character of Constantine. You know that Keanu Reeves is my Constantine. He will be
I
my
know.
guy.
And remember we talked about putting Dream and Keanu Reeves as Constantine in a room together and just watching to see what would happen. I mean, I would pay good money for that, you know.
I would watch that movie. I'd be like, take my money. I want to watch it. I want to watch it now. And that's why I kind of was hoping, like, I'm like, ooh, I hope they didn't gender swap Constantine. And this is just like the British, maybe there's like a British Constantine. And then there's also like a Constantine in like the US. And both of them can meet up because like her and Keanu would look great together too. So
oh, I know.
I was just hoping.
We just want to see Keanu in this universe.
Yeah, I just wanted a big old mashup.
I will always hope that there's a second, you know.
I think they're okay. Like, sidetrack. I think they are making a second Constantine. Like, it just came out like a few days. Yeah, like
are
the
they
news.
Is it going to be Keanu? Because it has to be Keanu.
I believe so. Yeah, like I think he's coming back for Constantine too. What, like 15 years later or something? Which I'm so excited.
You know what though? He's done so good in the John Wick movies that I feel like he can still carry Constantine.
I feel like he could pretty much carry anything he wanted to do. It's just like, yeah, let's make another Speed.
Yeah, right. That's true. I just rewatched Speed actually, so
Yeah,
I
like
would watch it.
anything he wants to come back for. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I was kind of like, yeah, I was hoping it wasn't just a gender swap and it was just like a different version of it, but I think it is just a gender swap. And if that's the case, I mean, I love how she played the character. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
cool.
did. I really liked her character as
Yeah,
well.
she did the Constantine character really, really well. Like she got down the sort of like skepticism, and
The
I just thought she did it really
sass,
great.
all of the
And it was so
sass.
sad, like what happened to her girlfriend. I was like, oh my
Oh my
god.
gosh, that was horrifically sad.
It was
Yeah,
so sad because of his sand. I was like, oh god.
I know.
And I
Like,
like that. I
jeez.
love the scene where she kind of like pushed him into like more of his humanity. Like, like you can't just like do something, like you say you want to get all your things back and save the world from crumbling into whatever dreamless state, and here's a real person, like help them.
Yeah,
So
help them. And that was
yeah.
still before he was in full jerk mode, so
Yeah, which I think
it was
I
nice
think
that
it's
he
just like
helped.
I think he's like the tide. Like his moods and his ideas on things will just be ever coming in and out, just depending on the day.
But I
Yeah.
feel like he did have Narc though, because then at the end he brings back that nightmare that he had cast into the
Yeah, he made
darkness,
her a dream,
and
made her
he
a
gives
dream.
her wings, and it's
Which
really nice.
I and she was beautiful. I thought she was beautiful before. I'm like, she doesn't look like a nightmare to me. Like,
Yeah, she was beautiful.
yeah, I'm like, her skin was like ebony with like the like fractals of multicolored light. I'm like,
Like
that's
the
beautiful.
universe.
Yeah, I would not be scared if I saw her.
Yeah,
But I
me
also
neither.
feel in the future he might change his mind again and be like, okay, you're done.
He's so mercurial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like that. I loved the human characters. I was all behind the human girl who I cannot remember her name right now, which drives me crazy.
The
But
vortex?
I love what?
The vortex girl?
Yeah, the vortex, but I can't like remember her actual name. But yeah, the vortex girl. I loved her. I thought she was so just like she made you like you felt like her, like you were along the ride with her, and she was just so like spunky and endearing, and I loved
And
her as a character.
heroic.
Yeah, yeah, heroic. Like at the end where she knew she'd
She wants to
have to
save all her
die.
friends. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
willing to sacrifice her life, and it's just like,
yeah.
and the fact that she doesn't have to, and then the grandma gets to play this hero role, it was just so
Hmm.
moving.
It was a really,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a really moving scene between all of them, and I kind of I loved that ending, and I loved the show, and
So
I was so
overall, 10 out of 10 stars for me. I
yeah.
would say
Honestly,
if
is
you haven't watched it, you gotta
probably
watch it.
yeah 10 out of 10 for me. I maybe 9.5. It's I have a hard time giving things like a pure 10. Like it's really hard. So I'm gonna
I'm
give it
all the
9.
fingers, all the fingers,
Yeah.
all the
All the
10s.
fingers. I'm gonna hold up like 9 and then like half a pinky. I'm gonna give it 9.5.
Okay.
But yeah, I
And
know
it's all
I
about
loved
that
it.
pinky.
I loved it, especially after being like so disappointed in some series I've watched lately. To have
Mhm.
that was just it was like, oh, give me faith in TV watching again.
Yeah, because it was just it took you on a journey, uh,
Yes, yeah,
an adventure that just got better and better with every episode. So if you haven't seen it,
exactly.
check it out. And I
Hmm.
think we're gonna wrap up here. And
Yep.
thank you for joining us at Awkward Aquarians Reviews.
Thank
And we will
you.
see you next time for more nerdiness.
Yes, next time.
Next
Until
time
we
we
meet
meet
again.
again. Happy
Mhm.
trails to